Salute, salute, salute to our Blowers Cheers fam. What it do? Glad for you to join us tonight. Knicks after party. It's been one heck of a last couple games. I was actually at that Blazers game on Saturday. I was close enough where I could yell at Tibbs, and I was yelling at Tibbs. I was telling him, "Play deuce, play deuce," and he had to hear me because everybody else heard me, and they had told me the security had walked up to me and told me I had to keep it down because I was getting hurt over broadcasting, and they didn't want to have to escort me. So I was like, "Oh, here you guys go." I mean, you can't even get loud at a sporting event. What is the world coming to? So yeah, I was telling him to play deuce. I was yelling at Mitch because he started off, really good, giving energy and keeping Nurkic out the paint. So for the most part, so I was pretty excited about that. He had a block on, was it CJ Alibi or however you pronounce his name. And then he had another block on Simmons out on the charity stripe. So I was hyped with that. We started off really slow with going down 0-7, but I wanted to mention the pregame. So when I was there watching shoot arounds, I'm kind of peeping the scene, and I see IQ out there, and he's going through some of the shots. Like, so players are just doing their little shoot around, and he's using players as a screen to go around them with a screen and set up his 3-point shot. And he's out there getting his shots up, and I see Grimes doing the same thing from the elbow. He's just taking shots. You know what I'm saying? Like game time shots. Like they're just laser focused. You just see how they're concentrating in the game. I'm looking at other players like Cam and Obi, and Obi's in the low post just grabbing boards, trying to get a board so he can put up some shots. And Cam's just kind of just in the motion. He has his leg kicked out when he's shooting threes. He's kind of joking around, laughing with Obi, and it had me thinking of what Grimes had said before. He practiced how he plays, and for when he said that, it made sense because that's how they were practicing. And that's how they get on the court. So even after halftime, Grimes and IQ were the first ones out there after halftime shooting around. And since they were the first two out there, you know how when you practice by yourself, you get the ball and you kind of spin it and get to your spot, and it comes back to you, set up and shoot. So that's kind of what IQ was doing since there was no one out there to get on the ball. I'm saying he was kind of just passing it to himself by spinning the ball and squaring up and taking the shots while Grimes was in the corner hitting his trays. So I'm like, man, that's why Tibbs likes those guys, because they practice how they play and they put the time in to to get on the court, and they take everything seriously. Now we all know IQ is going through his sophomore slump, but I mean he's getting his minutes and Grimes is getting his minutes, and that's kind of what I was trying to tell people earlier, is that they practice the way they play. They play defense hard to get on the court, and they're not just smiling and playing around, and that's kind of what I want someone to talk to Cam about and let him know that he needs to kind of just take it more serious. You're not getting the minutes that you want to get, so you should be out there trying to, get the minutes however you can. So I was impressed with I kind of knew that already, but it was just nice to see that for yourself. And let me salute some cats in the chat. Rich Boy, salute. Julian Blum, salute. Knicks for Life, salute. Juju 92, salute. I appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight. And if you like any of this gear, this adapt gear, this needs to be sent to Tibbs. I should send this to Tibbs because he needs to adapt his rotation. You know what I'm saying? He needs to adapt his playbook. Then in the back, as you can see, it says with the culture. So I'm saying the way the NBA is going right now, and the way the NBA is moving with rotations and young players and not being set in your ways. I mean, I thought it was a perfect time to throw on some of these shirts. But so if you guys like any of these shirts that I'm rocking, look me up on IG, Too Smooth Clothing _ TOO Smooth TH Clothing _ Then I'm saying DM me, let me know what you like it, and I'll shoot you the price on what it is. And then for the girls, it's a Smooth Her. So the guys is smooth, Too Smooth, and the girls are Smooth Her. So just let y'all know. I'm saying your boys out there. But yeah, I was just really disappointed in that Blazer game from the jump. Being down, they're a depleted team. So, and if y'all don't know, I'm not from, but I live in Portland now. So, it was a it's a letdown to go to the game. Everybody's all masked up. You got to show your vaccination card. So I did all that, and then you can't even get loud at a event anymore. But I'm looking at other teams and other games. Even in New York, I didn't see nobody masked up over there. So it must be something that's not,
You just see people masked up in Oregon.
Oh yeah, we're like one of the last states. I think there's like 9 states left that have that mask mandate.
Mask mandate, right?
Yeah, and we're our governor's a sheep, so she kind of follows along with what everybody else does. So we'll be one of the last ones with the mask mandate. So yeah, man, I was like I mentioned, I was highly disappointed with that not being able to be louder. I travel. I be in New York. I was just in Philly, DC. I didn't go to the Denver game because it got shut down 2 hours before. But yeah, just having that mask on was killing me. And I'm like, man, I got the mask on, and you guys are still. Even the security guard was like, I'm really impressed how loud you are, but I was told that if you don't keep it down, we're gonna have to escort you. And I was like, man, I don't even have no beers in my system. I'm not even cussing. The only thing I was saying was Tibbs play deuce, and then I was telling Mitch what a great job he was doing on Nurk. Because I was pretty close. I was in the tunnel of the Blazers where they come out the tunnel.
Right.
So but I was like, man, I should have been on the other side. But those other prices were a little too high for me. I wasn't trying to spend all that much money. So I was all right with where I was at. But yeah, that game, a depleted, depleted team, a new team. They just got the trade with Justin Winslow from the Clippers. Then they had got Hart from New Orleans, and I'm not sure who else they got. They had a couple other players, you know what I'm saying? But just for a team that just got assembled not a couple days ago before the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of showed up and showed out. And what do we always say? We're building chemistry. Building chemistry. We need these players to build chemistry. This is game, whatever it is, 50-something, and we still ain't got no darn chemistry. You know what I'm saying? We got Fournier going 1 for 13.
No chemistry for me, man.
Man, it's just they just look whack out there. Then I don't know if you guys noticed, know that the Blazers don't even have a G League. You know what I'm saying? There's only one other team. I think it's the Phoenix Suns, but because I'm always talking to coworkers and things like that. And, they're all Blazers fans, so it was really disappointing to go back to work and having to hear them talking out the side of their neck and all this. And we beat you, but yeah, they don't even have a G League, and they have all these players. So for all the the Knicks fans that talk about we don't develop players or or we need to change our ways. There's just different ways of developing because Simons, there was no G League for Simons, and Simons is on his 4th year ready to get his contract. You know what I'm saying? So he was drafted in 2018 with the number 24, 24th pick. And that year in 18, he only averaged 7 minutes with 3.8 points and 0.7 assists. Excuse me. So, yeah, he didn't get much run his rookie year, and he didn't really do nothing with that time. But the next year, he ended up getting 20 minutes, and it went up to 8.3 points with 1.4 assists. And it was pretty similar with last year too. He had 17.2 minutes with 7.8 points and 1.4 assists. So those numbers don't really wow you and like, oh, okay, this kid's gonna be a superstar, you know what I'm saying, by those points. But he sat behind a Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum. They had Trent Jr. that was also there taking up minutes. But he was able to watch and learn, you know what I'm saying, pick their brain and get advice. So it just depends on how you're being developed. I mean, we don't have they just look at all the guards I just mentioned who you're sitting behind watching and learning from.
Right.
And just it's just a different style of development. And then this year he just hit the ground running with 29.2 minutes, 16.7 points, and 1.4 assists. But there's times where we're like, for instance, when we had Kevin Knox and Ntilikina, were you one of those fans who was like send them to the G League, let them learn?
No, my thing was let them play, because sometimes you got to play to learn, man. Like my thing was let the guy play, man. Like he never found minutes. But look, I mean, we didn't. It's not like we've gotten anywhere anyway. Like with not playing them. So it is like it is what it is, Same thing with Knox. It ain't like we get nowhere. We got nowhere playing him. We didn't get nowhere not playing him. So it's whatever, man.
But if you're not going to play him though, would you rather just have him sit on the bench, or you rather have him go to the G League and get some run and get some experience there?
But that's on them too. G League is also optional, but I mean, it's not like we had a coach to shape the direction and tell them like get in the G League. So that's on them too. I mean, BSJ came in the same year as Frank. He asked for it.
Right. So you don't feel like the G League helps develop players? Then you're against it then?
No, I think in general, I think it helps develop players. I think it helps because sometimes in some cases, some players just need the confidence. Some of them already got game. A lot of players got game already. They just need the confidence. They need to get that. They need to just get the confidence, so they can start playing their game, and start seeing what it's like.
Well, that's what I'm just getting at. Like, if you're not going to get no run, if you're at the end of the bench, you might as well just go to the G League and build that confidence then. So that way, when your number is called in the NBA, you're ready to go instead of just questioning yourself when you're on the court.
That's absolutely.
That's just kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So I guess it's optional. I don't know.
Because we didn't have that with Ntilikina, and we didn't have that with Kevin Knox, but we have that with Deuce McBride, and we have that with Jericho Sims. Even though they're later second round, players, but still though, those high draft picks like an Obi and a IQ with the 8 and number 25 pick, and that's kind of what I was getting at. They're not getting any G League because. Right. I just wanted to run by the numbers specifically on IQ.
Right.
So with IQ, his last year he averaged 19.4 minutes and he averaged 11.4 points a game with 2 assists. So he actually is doing better than Simons was in Simon's second year with the same amount of points. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then this year he kind of took a little bit of a slump because his points only dropped 2.2 points. It dropped from 11.4 to 9.2 with a minute 0.1, 2 minutes 0.1 more than last year. But you're also asking this kid to play a different position and running and setting the table for everybody else and getting everybody else involved. So with that, it's going to take time to learn a new position and run the team instead of just going out there and being a microwave scorer and getting your own. Especially when you're not getting any help right now, we're getting no production from sometimes we get no production from Fournier. Sometimes we get no production from Burke. Sometimes, the combinations and mismatches of who you're on the court with, because he goes in at the end of the game and maybe he's in there with a starter or two, or he goes in there with the whole new unit. So it just kind of depends on who's playing good and who Tibbs has them on the court with. So you got to get used to that. You got to get used to setting people up, the timing of getting oops to Obi, threading the needle, and that handle. That handle just needs to be a lot tighter. He's like Clyde would say, he's loosey goosey with the ball,
Right.
And that's just comes with time. And that's what I'm getting at is we need to have more patience with the development of our team, with our youngins, because we do have a nice group of guys that may not be core pieces, but they definitely could be with the part of the second unit, or just it doesn't matter. They could be spot minute players, at one point or another. For instance, like Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims may not be the backup center. In a year or two, he may just be one of those spot minute players, or the third option on the team when other players are hurt. And you've seen that throughout the year that he's had that. But he's just young. He's just young and raw. And on Saturday, you could just tell he was just getting outworked by Nurkic.
We talking Todd or Robinson, Mitch?
Sims, Jericho. Yeah, because I was watching that game, and he was getting overpowered. It seemed like he was just being overwhelmed with Nurkic in the low post, and with his strength and his pump fakes and
he's still a kid.
His weight, and he's, like I said, he's still young.
Still a kid. He ain't got that grown man strength yet. It ain't kick in for him yet.
Yeah, well, he had 4 years at Texas, so he has to be what, 22 maybe
21, 22, yeah.
22.
Nurkic got more reps in the league, Although I felt like Taj ain't do no better for them last couple possessions, but
No, we got outboarded.
We got outboarded, and it was like 4 of them in a row too, all offensive rebounds. It was like a few of them.
Right.
Trash, yo. Trash. That's all I got to say. Trash. What is going on?
Yeah, because we're going back and forth, texting back and forth, and you're like, "What happened, son? We were up 1 minute, and then the next minute we were gone. We were down."
Back with a little bit of curse words, because I was hot. I was hot. I'm watching the game with my mom, and we just watching the game. We just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, okay, Knicks got this one in the bag. So I go upstairs. I get ready to start heading out. So I'm getting ready. I blink and I blink. We was down 20 when I was watching it with my mom. I blink we're up 20. I blink, we're up 10. Then I blink again and we're down 1. Then I blink again and we're down by like 7 and the game's over. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what just happened? What happened? What was the meltdown? What's going on?
Yeah, it was just that. It was basically there was a lid. Somebody put a lid on the rim, and we could not just hit any buckets. Kemba was going east and west, where before he was penetrating to the cup, but he can't do that no more. Like, he could do it in the beginning of the game and get past somebody, and now they have to set screens for him. So now they're not setting screens for him. He's going east and west. We're getting outboarded, and the defense just tightened up. You know what I'm saying? Where when Jules isn't going anymore, Winslow kind of got in his head for a minute, and you kind of saw him tussling back and forth, and the referees had to separate him. And I knew right then that Jules was going to start forcing stuff. So then their defense tightened up, and they started double teaming him where he couldn't penetrate to the cup no more. Like, that was just shut down. That wasn't even an option anymore. And then nobody else was hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just kind of how it happened. But at halftime, we were up 53-48. And it was pretty much even. Points in the paint, it was 18-18. Fast break points, it was 8-8. Assists, we had 9 to their 14. And what it was in the beginning of the game is that Julius was playing that point forward where he'll grab the board, go I almost said East Coast, West Coast, whatever, coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'd kick it out to Kemba for an open 3. and Kemba didn't have to do nothing but just pop those. So the roles were reversed on Kemba driving and kicking out to now Julius having to do that. And then, after a while, Julius started playing out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like his passes weren't crisp anymore. He was leaving his feet and getting caught in midair.
Yeah. What is up with him jumping to make a pass, man? What's up with that, man?
They all do that. Derrick Rose does that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the cardinal sin of leaving your feet and trying to make a pass. Now Derrick Rose can get away with it because he has that extra airtime. You know what I'm saying? He still has that athleticism. It's just below the rim now, athleticism, where he can still get caught in the air and make a decision on who's going to pass. Julius does not have that athleticism at 250 pounds to get caught in the air and make a last minute pass. There's just other passes where he's just not on the same page with the chemistry. He expects people to cut one way, and he almost took off one of the announcers' heads by launching the ball over there. And, Kemba was just standing right there. He was expecting him to be in a certain spot. So playing at a faster pace, you're going to have more turnovers. That's just the way it is. At halftime, we had 6 turnovers, so there's 6 turnovers. So like I was mentioning, everything was pretty close. Everything was good at halftime. Bench points, we actually had 18 points from our bench to their 12. They weren't really cooking in the beginning of the first half. Simons only had 5 points. Justice Winslow wasn't scoring. It was Nurkic. He was outboarding us at that. He had 10 boards in the first. He had 10 boards in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just getting those boards on everybody because he was getting the boards on Mitch. He was getting the boards on Taj. Then once Jericho went in there, it was the same thing. It didn't matter who it was. And what else did we have? We had 39% field goal percentage at halftime to their 38. We had 23 free throws made to their 30, and we had 4 3-pointers made to their 7. 6 offensive boards to their 2 offensive boards. But then we had 11 second chance points. So like I mentioned, at halftime we're up third quarter. We were good, and then that fourth quarter just Mitch being in foul trouble. I think he even fouled out. Then we had only scored 11 points in that quarter. It was just nothing good can happen. That's what happens when we don't have a secondary scorer. Someone that we could consistently go to when the defense collapses on Jules, and we have someone else to depend on and kick in. That's kind of where D Rose is. D Rose is that man.
It's sad. It's kind of like it's funny. It's kind of like the Melo JR years when Melo was the JR was the second leading scorer. He come off that bench and just light it up right alongside with Melo.
Yeah, off the bench, that microwave scorer.
Crazy. You would expect another starter to be a second leading scorer, but yeah, he was JR, man. When he was torching in the 2013 season, 2012. Those were good times. But yeah, enough of that. But yeah, Derrick Rose. I mean, we already know when Derrick Rose comes back. We already know he's getting ran right into the ground, man, with them ankles. It's sad. It's very sad. I don't know. It's sad, man. It's sad. 33 years old. That's just my opinion. 33 years old. I ain't depending on Rose too much. Everybody looking forward to him coming back. It might make games more exciting, but I don't know. I really don't know.
What, at this point, for what? I mean, we lost to the Blazers, like I mentioned. The team,
if I'm not mistaken.
And then we lost to OKC, to a young team that didn't have their star player there either. Right now at this point, it is what it is. Being a Knicks fan, I'm still gonna ride on mine. I'm still gonna. Of course, we still gotta watch the games, but I'm just not expecting too much. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the young guys play, but we're asking a tiger to change the stripes. We're asking a zebra to, to change the stripes, and that's not going to happen. unless it comes directly from the front office that you need to play these guys, regardless of the situation. But what I don't get is, they always say we give our best player, we give our team the best chance of winning by playing these vets.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the games, when it's a tight game, you're playing the best guys that give you the chance to win. Either somebody got hot and you kept them in, or whatever it is. Why is it never the same starters every time? So if those guys are at the end of the game are your best chance of winning, why aren't those guys the starters in the beginning of the game to give you your best chance of winning?
What do you mean, like when
So, give you an example. Kemba's never ending the game. He never finishes the game. So, why point blank period? Why is he starting then? If
he doesn't give you your best chance to win. Oh, yeah, well, that's the method to the madness with Tibbs. I mean, just like with it's like you could say with RJ when it was 3 minutes left. When he's down. How much was he down? I can't remember. He was down on that. Was at a Denver game, the Jazz game. Tibbs threw him back in. That's what he said. He said, "I thought we had a chance to win."
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not just it's every game though. It's the Blazer game. It's the OKC game. Kemba didn't finish the OKC game last night.
He didn't.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a consistency with this pattern that when it comes down to it, and you need to stop these guys from scoring, but you also need to score. You're putting your best guys in there. Why aren't those best guys starting every game?
Well, see, that's the thing. Tibbs thinks he thinks he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? That's all. He thinks he really knows what he's doing. He's so sure he has it under control. Tibbs is a coach where he's an arrogant coach, and he's an arrogant coach where his thing is, well, if they just run my offense right, we'll win. That's his thing. Or his offense could fail 50 times, and he'll still think that it has a chance to work. He just expects different results. Last other guy I knew, the last coach I knew like that was like it was actually winning coaches. Phil Jackson was a winning coach. That was his thing. Oh shoot, what I do back? His thing was, if guys run this right, we have a chance to win. Phil was doing that when he was the president, GM of the Knicks, with the triangle offense, but he didn't want to come down and coach it. Greg Popovich was the same way, but he doesn't really speak to the media. But that's how Tibbs is, and he hasn't won Jack as a head coach. So that's where we're in trouble. That's how he is. I just that's the body language I get from Thibodeau. I don't really listen to his post game interviews, but that's the vibe I get from him. Well, if we win it the right way, we'll win. The guys will start playing better. That's Tibbs' thing. So. And this is after we lose. He says these things, so it's like you want to you just want to reach through your screen and just grab him, in that sense. Salute, my guy.
I just think we really missed RJ, bro.
We
really missed RJ in that Portland game.
Oh yeah, if we would have had him, it would have took some pressure off of Julius, and we would have had another slasher. It would have slowed the game down. We would have been able to get our free throws, and then not only that, another defender on. I mean, whoever he wouldn't have been guarding Simons, or maybe Hart was getting to the cup. I mean, I don't know. It could have been. There could have been so different, so many ways, so many options. You could have sliced it and diced it when RJ being out there, but it would have taken pressure off around.
Let me ask you this, bro, because when I watch the game on TV and then when I go to the games, I see something different. Do you notice how big and agile Julius Randle is in person as opposed to when you watch him on TV?
Most definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's so, big and strong that he could get to the cup when he wants. He could take his shots. That's why he kind of like lets them off the hook when he settles for those fadeaway jumpers. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, when he goes up against a Nurkic, who's not a rim defender, like, you could get yours at any time. But when the defense sees that, and at the end of the game, when they collapse on you, it forces you to kick it out. And when you got a Fournier going 1 for 13, and you got a Kemba that went cold, and he just there's nothing else he could do. And at that point, he gets frustrated. And once Julius gets frustrated, he's out of his game. You know, I mentioned like he's out there with I just had the guy's name from the Clippers.
And, that game
Winslow got into his head, and then the referees had separated him. And I knew at that point, it's over. It's over, because then his finesse is gone. There's no more finesse on his shot. He's playing angry. So when he plays angry, he plays his shots hard. You know what I'm saying, so it's like it's all bad from there. So that's why having a RJ Barrett or a D Rose takes that pressure off him, where he can slowly do other things. But he's just asked to do too much now. Now he's asked to play point forward, and just speeding up and down the court. Of course, you're going to get gassed at the end of the game too. 250 pounds, 6'8", just that's like a not even a linebacker, because they're small. But they just don't.
It's like a freight train, bro. It's like a freight train.
Yeah, you could put them next to a LeBron, a Giannis, a Zion, and they're kind of like in their own category as far as their physique and players not able to stop them. But that's kind of why I don't want to get rid of Randall. We need to surround him with better players, And they were cheering, MVP at the OKC game. Did you guys hear that too through the screen?
I heard it.
So I mean, whether the fans are mad and they're booing you or whatever, I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna be up 1 minute and down the other minute. So I'm still rocking with Randall. He just needs a better supporting cast. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You want to throw the link in there in case anybody else wants to hop in?
Yeah, sure.
I got you.
All right.
Got it. Easy to point guard of this right now.
That's
I don't know, man. I don't know. As far as Randall goes, I don't know what's up with Randall, man. Yeah, he's a big dude, but he plays small. He plays once you shoot like that and you're that big, you make yourself smaller than your defender. So, it's like I don't know. I just can't call it winning, man. I don't know what to expect from Randall. I mean, you're gonna get good stats, but we need winning. You know what I mean? Randall has his stats. I'll give him that. He gets his boards, but I got to translate to winning. It's not enough. It's not enough this season, man.
But you're asking him to do everything, though. Now you're asking him to play point forward. Now you're asking him to play point forward.
I don't want him to bring the ball up. That's one thing I don't. That I don't want.
But when your point guard's not penetrating and kicking out, then you got to, being the number one player on the team, you got to kind of take it upon yourself to get the rest of the team going. And that's what he was doing. That's what he was doing. I think he had like 9 assists in the. No, he had 3 assists. He had 14 boards. He had 11 boards, 14 points, and 3 assists in the first half. I'm saying, like, I don't know. I just think they're asking him to do too much. I think he's doing too much thinking, being on the court. You know what I mean? And that's not one of his strengths. His strength is bully ball. Just go out there and get yours. But you're also asking this man to take it to the cup against forwards and then challenging centers at the rim, constantly back and back, over and over and over and over again. That takes a lot of wear and tear on your body. And he's pretty durable. He never gets hurt. But at some point, why are you asking this man to just run through a wall for you when nobody else is doing it?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, and so to your point, I think that's the reason why when we say Julius Randle's body language is terrible, that whole conversation of he should go above and beyond all these things, we should be careful how we judge him, because like to your point, when you ask him to do all these things over and over and over again and the result is the same, you still losing, any human being is going to show a level of frustration. Yeah. Like one time, I was on a panel with Culley, and every time he was trying to talk, people kept cutting him off, and I saw Culley get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's just what I'm saying is we just got to be careful on how we judge. How you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at.
That just happened. I hear you though. But
Copy.
yeah, I don't though. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all people. You know, all those players are people, and yeah, it's gonna get to you. And we all know that the lights on at New York are the brightest. So I mean, we knew what we got from Randall from the beginning. No, what was his nickname? Spindle Randall, no handle Randall. I mean,
Yeah,
and
Tasmanian Devil.
and not so much last year, but it was definitely, his first year when he joined us, and he's kind of going back to those things right now because he doesn't have that supporting cast to take that pressure off him, where he's asked to,
Yes, he's actually do ISO ball, and it's not. It won't work. It just doesn't work. And we don't have a point guard, so we're screwed. Put it like that. We're just screwed. So as long as the coach still has faith, then so be it. But it's just like every other season prior. That's all.
Like, yeah, well, we do have a point guard. We have a point guard in Deuce, but I mean,
yeah, no, we have a point guard. Well, we have a point guard in Deuce, but it's once again, it's up to the coach. It's up to the coach to utilize what we got. He thinks we have a chance to win, so it's D Rose till the wheels fall off.
Well, those wheels already fell off. We're kind of just trying to glue them back together right now.
The wheels fell off. The car's getting repaired. He's ready to pick the car from the shop, and he's gonna run down the mileage again. That's all. We're gonna have another car issue down the road. Yeah, it's tricky, Nikki. Coach Tibbs feeling us. I should get some wine. I'm gonna chill out. I'm not gonna get no wine tonight. But yeah. Yeah, no wine for me tonight, man. Man, no committing those burn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know what it is with Randall, man. I really don't know what it is. I was watching the game with my whole family last night, man. It's like, yo, what is going on with him, yo? My thing was just give the ball to 48 or Grimes, man. The irony that this Knicks team lost to what Tibbs despises the most, youngins. It's just the irony. That's the third group of youngins we lost to. I don't think we beat a young team yet. Well, maybe the Kings is an exception at home, but we lost to the Pistons. Didn't we lose to the Pistons? We lost to the Pistons in December. We lost to OKC in December. I think there's one more young boy team we lost to, man.
Magic twice.
Magic. There we go. The Magic. We lost to the Magic twice.
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right. I'm sorry.
It's that pace. It's the pace that the youngins bring to the table.
You know what? Let me tell you. So that Warriors game, I was listening to commentary. It's nothing. It's nothing outlandish with the commentary. So I always listen to the commentary. So Obi got a rebound. He pushed it, gave it to Cam. Cam scored with the left. He scored on Balika on the Warriors, right? I think he got an and one. No, he didn't get an and one, but he finished over the top of him. So the commentary says he's like, well, the Knicks have athletes. They got to run. That's what the commentary said. The obvious. They do have athletes on their team. They got to run. So, we have something. We can get something to work. It's on the coach, man. It's on the coach. How I look at it like it's on the coach. That's all. I look at it as a coach. You gotta take guys out when it's time.
Hey, Colin, how you say it's on the coach when the coach been saying all season that he want the guys to get out and run and they just won't do it? And even Randall said in his press conference, Tibbs has been telling us we need to get out and run, and we be trying.
Then you have to emphasize it some more. You lose if he's losing, he got to do something. He got to make his guys. I'm sure. Well, you also have. You can't tell me that these young guys on this team don't want to run. Cam, RJ, and Grimes, Obi. These young kids don't want to run. No.
Well, they definitely want to run. Obi wants to run.
I'm sure they want to get out and run. That second unit like they run to me. Derrick Rose gets out and run to me. But we don't have a Derrick Rose. We ain't have a Derrick Rose for about 2 months now. So I mean, I would stress it as a coach. I bang my fist on that table. I want them guys to run. That's how
I just feel with the trade line being over with and with us losing games with the vets, I mean, they're not going to get any lower trade value than what they already have. And then
no,
when the season's over, the numbers of what they've done in the past. So I'm kind of putting this on a Fournier and a Noel's and a Burks. This year it'd be done. You have another year with those guys and a team option. So I think their trade value would be better in the summer. So it doesn't matter whether you don't play them right now. I mean, you're still going to get the same value at them in the summer whether they play or not. So at this point, I'm willing to roll the dice and get more playing time with a Burks. I mean, a Obi and a Cam and McBride in them, and just whoever plays better, you just keep them out there on the court. You let them fight for their minutes that way. You give them a chance to go out there because right now they're only getting like 8 minutes at a time, if that. And you got to kind of let them play through their lumps while they're out there. So that's kind of just where I'm at now. I'm just tired of losing against these young teams in the NBA.
It's the irony. That's what Tibbs gets. But one thing I wanted to say too, I did want to be a little objective. It's definitely also on the front office. Definitely also on them. Because you bring Tibbs here, who is a winning coach. Oh, he's a win now coach. I'm sorry. He's a win now coach. So still has a good win percentage. He still has one, like his overall coaching record. But you bring a win now coach in here who just can't win right now. So it's like I don't fault Tibbs all the way. I fault him for his rotations. I fault him for his role, his job. But Tibbs might just not be. He just might not be it for this team anymore. That's all. He had a good year. He coach of the year, and like he said, this may sound harsh, but like he said, Derrick Rose got it. It's kind of like 50-50. Derrick Rose got him where he needed to be. He got Derrick Rose where he needed to be, and but you see, Derrick Rose been out for a while, and it just looks bad for Tibbs. So hey, it just might be his time to get relieved. That's all. It might be time for him to be relieved of his duties. Probably gonna happen the end of the season.
I don't know if you relieve him from his duties. It's like trying to build a house and not having the proper tools to build a house. You know what I'm saying? His foundation was built on defense, and that's how Grimes got on the court. And after that, he just happened to, shoot threes and make threes and kind of get a name for himself as a 3-and-D player.
Right.
IQ's defense has gotten a lot better, and that's where the confusion gets to me and why McBride doesn't get any run. If when we know when he's out there, he's going to press you at 94 feet, and we wouldn't have these 07 deficiencies in the beginning of the game. We'd actually be able to stop players and then pass the ball around because McBride's not going to ask for the ball. He's not going to ask to take those shots. But if you kick it to him and he's open, he'll take it. It's better than just getting cooked on defense and then not now. If your shot's not going, you're giving up points. Then you're not, scoring on the other end too. So why not take that chance? I'd rather him start with the first unit than an IQ. Because then you're asking IQ to set the table. I'd rather have IQ with the Burks and keep Burks as the backup point guard. So you have a Burks, IQ, Cam, Obi, and a Mitch or a. It has to be Mitch or Sims because all those guys are athletic. You can't have a slow Taj back there trailing while everybody is running and trying to get these fast points in the paint. And that's kind of what our strength is in the beginning of the year, was pushing the pace and getting those fast break points, and that takes pressure out the first unit when they come back into the game. They're not down trying to play catch up. They're actually entering the game with a lead. So that's kind of what I would do. I would put a McBride with the same unit, just McBride, Fournier, RJ when he gets back, and then Jules and Mitch.
Yeah, you would put a McBride, but is this man going to do it?
No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it, and that's where the front office needs to go in there and just waive Kemba. Just waive him. Let him go. What are we keeping him around for? Is he part of our future? No.
Well, there's a few guys that should get waived, but yeah.
Go ahead. Speak on it.
Nah, I'm going to leave that, man. I'm going to leave that one. I think we know, man. You got a couple guys that go scoreless. You got a couple guys playing extensive minutes. I see a few things going on that shouldn't be going on.
Speak on it.
You got Burks out there that's been scoreless a lot of times. He played. I'm not mistaken. How many minutes did Burks play? Was it 45? Or was it Evan that played 45? Or 35?
Well, last game.
Last night's game, yeah. Burks just never came out.
It was Evan.
Was Evan? Okay, well I'm cool. I'm okay with Evan because he had some big shots. We shouldn't have even been in a close game with these guys, man, with OKC. We had the game won. They gave us the game. That's the funny part. They gave away the game to us. That was pretty much, I can say that about a lot of games.
Okay, yeah, Julian Blenn mentioned that he played 41 minutes. Yeah.
Who played 41? Julius?
Evan did.
Oh, Evan? Yeah, oh man, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I don't care who plays how many minutes, long as I see some young guys in there. I think that's just all I care about right now. I got to stay positive. So, as long as I see a youngin in there, I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay. I saw Grimes in there. He did his thing. He carried over from the Portland game. He started shooting worse as over the course of the game. He started shooting worse. His shooting got worse. He kept missing, but he stayed confident. He didn't fold. And I actually wanted him to take one of the last shots. I wanted him to. Him or Fournier should have taken the last shot, but did we touch on that yet?
No.
Okay, we didn't touch on that one. I don't know. That's just me, man. I want to see McBride in the game too, man. Trust me. I want to see the guy can defend. I don't know. I would think, you have this point guard that can defend. I don't know if Tibbs really drafted him per se, but you have this guard that can defend. He can play both sides. He can post up. He has a wingspan. Tall. He has a long wingspan. Can defend the positions bigger than him. He probably could defend guys like LaMelo and the big guards. That's the crazy thing. Guy's a pit bull, but you don't put him out there. Why? Because he's a knucklehead, I guess. Is that what it is? He's a knucklehead to you? So you don't put him out there for that reason, and you just continue to lose and you continue to feed us. I go with my best chance to win, just to lose. It's like I think it was Robert Parr that said we're tanking with vets. And the funny thing is, we are, just not on purpose. Because we're losing. This ain't winning. Tibbs is a winning coach that's just not winning right now. I don't know, man. I'm just confused. That's all. I'm still confused about the direction. Yeah, are you sure the direction, sir, right now?
Yeah, play the vets. That's the direction.
Play the vets. All right, so that's the direction. Play the vets, try to win. All right, so we just gotta accept it. That's all. We gotta accept it. I hate to accept it because it's maddening.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a diehard fan, man. I don't play that, man. I'm ready to fight my friends over the Knicks, man. But I can't control it, man. It's all this money involved and contracts and I don't want to say nepotism. I hate that word, but things like that, connections, clutch, CAA, it's all types of BS like that involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just no reason for everybody to Randall to have 45 minutes and Grimes to have 40 minutes, Mitchell to have 41 minutes, have 45. Nobody should be in the 40s, period.
Right.
And What happened? Well, so what happens if, like last year, he ran everybody, and then you go to the playoffs and everybody's gassed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at some point, these kids need to get some run to get the. I'm not saying we're gonna make the playoffs, but just to get the experience out there. That's kind of what I'm just getting at. I mean,
right.
I don't know. There's no reason for Obi and Cam just to have 7 minutes. I don't care if they're not playing right. You call a timeout and say, okay, this is what I need you to do. I need you to crash the boards. I need you to, if you're not going to score, go out there and play deep. Don't let this guy score. Just plain and simple things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Taj does what he can out there. If you go out there, I'll be like, just watch Taj. That's what they tell at a young age. Watch him play. And the whole, the guys that are on the bench are watching the one guy who they're going to go in and substitute for and take his position and kind of do the same thing that person was doing. So, right. I don't know.
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And Rose, I'm trying to think what's the timetable on Rose, man. I just need to know. I need to know if he's
Which Rose is that?
D Rose. I just want to know his timetable. I do miss him, but I'd rather him. He's a guy. I'd rather just rest him, man. Rest him, man.
Shut him down. What's
shut
the
him
point?
down. Yeah, shut him down. Yeah.
At this point, you're.
D Rose is not. He's not God, man. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. D Rose is not. I don't know. It would be remarkable if he was to if he was to lead us to that type of run. That would be something. But I can't expect that from a 33-year-old. I just can't. And the thing is, some 33-year-olds, they have sustainable runs. You know what I mean? So veterans, I'm sorry, but some veterans have sustainable runs. They can go for a stretch of like 6 games where they just could score above 30 all 6 games. They have runs like that. They do that. They do things like that. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in one basket already. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get excited for it. I'm just not going to. I refuse. I refuse to really sit here and say, D Rose is going to do that, make a miracle happen. So, and this is just for playing. Keep that in mind. Take that into consideration. This is just for a playing spot. Just to get Molly. I mean, I'll take that though. Don't get me wrong. I'll take that. I'll take the playing. I'll take the what's the name? What do you call? I'll take the playing spot. I mean, I'll take the win into a playoff series. I'll take another playoff year, but
not at the rate that we're going, where we're playing all these guys heavy minutes. I don't want to go in there playing, Julius Randle 45 minutes, and then for what? You're basically putting miles on this car. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why are you putting all these miles on this car for what?
Mm-hmm.
We know it's not going to get us. It's not going to get us a championship. It's not going. It's minimum. It's going to get us into the plane, and then we're going to get bounced in
At best. Yes, at best.
So why not just play these young guys and go from there? See what you got. That's what coaching is all about. Is you have a product, of players, and you kind of get them out their shell. You get them out their element. You elevate their game. You open their eyes. They're, it's like these rookies, these kids. You're kind of molding them into what you want them to become. And if you're not giving them any direction, and you're not giving them the opportunity, you're not letting them know what they're doing wrong, then they're not going to make any progress. It's kind of that's where I'm at. I mean, like I don't mind seeing these kids in there. And so what if McBride brings the ball down and he gets ripped? All right, you tell him, all right, this is what you do so you don't get ripped, and then do it again.
Set him a screen so he doesn't have to, so he can get across half court. Give him a screen so he can operate. Maybe with a little bit of room, he can operate. It's just simple things like that.
How many times did Ntilikina bring the ball down and get rid of the ball before he crossed half court?
He don't even get to get ripped. He just picks up his dribble. He's scared to get ripped. He don't even get that far.
Yeah.
Just how many times have we seen that? You know, and I guess Tibbs is not to blame for putting Frank Ntilikina in there for that game he put him in for that Hawks game. I wonder if people think that's Frank. Like Frank couldn't get any rhythm.
Yeah, I told you the story that happened to me.
Oh yeah, you told.
Yeah, I transferred schools. I didn't know any plays. I didn't know anything. He put me in the game because I'm a defensive specialist to stop the score. And last halftime, he just hit the halftime shot on me right before we went in there. I was cold, like there's nothing I could do. So I feel Ntilikina at that point.
Right.
It is what it is. So it's a Tibbs. It's a Tibbs thing, not a Ntilikina. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm ready to play these guys. Maybe after the All-Star break, there's a meeting.
We ain't gonna see it even then because Rose comes back after the All-Star break. I'm telling you, we're gonna see a push for the play-in. That's what we're gonna see. And then I realized another thing. This is the only thing I realized late. Tibbs can't coach in the fourth. It's not him, yo. He can't coach in the fourth. And it's something that we just gotta accept. He can't coach in the fourth. He can't put out the right group of guys in the fourth. He just can't. Something he can't do. He's not a fourth quarter coach. Tibbs would be a great high school coach. I don't know. I don't mean to say it like that. He would be a great high school coach. I know that sounds messed up, man. He would be a great. He would yell at some kids and they play hard for him. He'd be a great high school coach. Because coaching, I don't know. Coaching is not giving guys extended minutes because you want a good chance to win and keep your job. I don't know, man. Coaching is really going out with the best lineup, not on paper. Not analytically either. Not these numbers, these BS numbers that people use. Impact is who gives you the best chance to win. No, that's what you go with. You go with impact. Talent is one thing. Impact is another. We don't have world-class talent on here.
Yeah. He basically got going against an OKC team, a young team like that, you gotta match, athleticism with the youngins. Yeah. That's why we did so good against the Warriors because we slowed down into a half-court set.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to, run through screens and kind of set up our defense. And
right.
Not against these young guys. That's why we lose against the Magic and we lose against the OKC. Right. And we lose against all these teams because they're just playing at a fast pace. They're sharing the ball. They're making extra passes, trusting one another. And, we just don't have it. And they have it at the necessary positions because they have it all at point guards. They have the point guards. When there wasn't a Shea Alexander, they had a Giddey to run the offense through.
Giddey, you got lit up by Giddey. I still can't believe that. Not lit up, but it's like he had a great game.
Yeah, he had a triple-double, like
I can't believe he did what he wanted, man. I can't believe this guy, Kenrick Williams did what he wanted. I just can't believe it. I still can't believe that, Guys, I ain't even heard of these guys. I've seen them, but I ain't even. It's a lottery team, man. It might be the worst team on the West Coast. It might be the most trash team on the West.
But it was a fun team to watch because they played team ball.
Absolutely. They're not trash individually, and that sounds like I'm backtracking. They're not trash players individually. That move that Darius Beasley caught Mitch with to I think tie the game up. Was it to tie the game up to put in OT? That was a nice move, yo. That was a nice. I didn't even know he had that type of bag. I know Darius Beasley's an athlete. I know he might. I think he might be a good shot blocker or a good athlete, but that was a nice move he caught Mitch with, yo. Like to get that space for that layup. That was a nice move. But they got good players on OKC. It's just what happened. What happened to experience, Tibbs? What happened exactly? Giddey going full effect. Yeah, Taj was gassed in these games. You can see it in Taj's face, man. It's just like every time I see Taj get in, I get mad. I get so mad because I'm like, what is he gonna really do, man? He's good for a playoff run, man. We're not even in there. They might not even make the playoffs. Come on. Let me not even say might not. I don't think we have a puncher's chance, yeah.
No, he's good for spot minutes, you know.
No, yes, absolutely. I like Taj, but man, it's just what you put him in there for. You know what I mean? Oh man.
Sometimes he surprises you because he had a nice dunk in Portland in the low post when they found him in the low post. He kind of did almost like a spin it wasn't a 360, but it was just he just turned around and just yammed it with nobody around. And I was like, oh, he's still got a little bit left in the tank.
He had a vintage dunk. I think it was that Portland game. When Cam and guys kept finding him. Grimes.
Yeah,
you know, he looked good. Those are now. That's where you need a point guard in to just set guys up. That's when guys will look good when they have a point guard set them up. We don't even have that.
That's the whole point. I've been trying to say those for the longest. We don't have a point guard and we're playing everybody at a position, and that's why it looks so horrible.
Right, it does. We expecting Taj to probably get 20 points or something, and that's not going to happen. You know.
You're asking a guy who's played power forward the majority of his career to come over here and play backup center for the Knicks. But then you're asking IQ to play and Burks to play point guard. Yeah, you moved RJ from the 2 to the 3 to make room for a Fournier.
You get a Cam, if you refuse to play him at the 3, man, don't forget that one. You get a natural 3, don't want to play him at the 3. Don't want to play him.
Well, he plays some 3 when he's on the court with Obi.
Well, yeah, but finally, I heard not to go off topic. My bad. I heard that I heard that he was never really interested in Cam. Those were the rumors.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I don't know.
You never know. I know you never know.
I don't believe that. I mean,
he
had
a.
No, I was just saying they had to talk Rose and Leon on who they're bringing in, even with the Fournier and Kemba. You know, they might not have their first choices, but he probably like, all right, we need a shooter, so I brought you a shooter, and this is who you got. And he probably was just like, all right, I go work with that.
Oh yeah, probably. Exactly. Yeah, I got you shooters. Take that and coach them.
Mm-hmm. What it do, Spree?
What up, Spree?
What's good? How you doing?
Not too much.
A lot of Knicks positivity in here, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks with this team.
Couple months, you mean? But yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better.
Not going to get any better.
It's I don't know, man. I don't know if they're just tanking on purpose, but I don't think they actually are. That's the sad part.
I think they're doing it by accident, you know?
Yeah.
You know, with veterans. I've seen this before with the Knicks, though. That's what makes it sad. I've seen this before. I've seen us keep veterans in, thinking we have a chance, like we're going somewhere. Like we're like the playoffs is way out of reach, and we're still playing them, still playing the veterans.
It's crazy.
So it's sickening. It's actually sickening. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I gotta watch a video after this. I need a good laugh. Yeah, I gotta remember to watch it though. My man George into the Knicks verse. I gotta watch this video. He made me laugh this morning. But yeah.
Yeah, with the way things are going, I'm kind of glad that there's a break with the All-Star break, and I had not seen a couple games and just kind of taking your mind off of how bad we're doing, and maybe Obi brings home the dunking champion trophies.
When is the All-Star game? This weekend?
Yeah, that crap. I don't even watch that, man. I like the All-Star game. I don't care. I might watch the dunk contest. Maybe the 3-point shooting contest.
Exactly, yeah. The dunk contest, 3-point shooting contest. Yeah, I'm not talking about like the celebrity game or anything.
No, I
like
know, I
that.
know. I don't really. I like those, but I don't really watch. I don't even watch the All Star game. You know, I don't really care for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't.
Now, one year Porzingis won in the skills challenge.
Oh, he did. I forgot. I forgot he did that.
Yeah, I
Was
think
that rookie
the
year?
year before, I think Cat won it too. So the two bigs back-to-back years won the skills challenge.
Cat and Porzingis made history both their rookie years. Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That Porzingis had a good stat sheet his first year.
I like the format that they had with, it's like backyard. You pick your player, I pick my player, you pick your player instead of
I actually don't like it, but it's whatever.
You rather just East versus West?
Yeah, I'd rather the old. I don't really care for that pick my player. I don't know. I feel like it's trash.
What?
I don't know if it's trash, man.
I feel bad for the players that got picked last. Nobody wants to get picked last.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be East versus West, man. But I don't know.
It's just been so unbalanced throughout the years, though. Like one side's always more dominant than the other.
The West got the bigger players, and they've been better.
Mm-hmm.
They've been better than us, man. But I don't know.
It was only fair. I mean, it was unfair in the '90s when the East was better. We had the Knicks. We had the Pacers. We had the Bulls. We had the Heat. We had so the East was pretty dominant during those years, and now it just flips. I like these rules. So what are you looking forward to, Spreer? What kind of changes would you make?
Well, I don't know. I feel like we just need to play the young players. I'm not really even focused on the 10 seed. I know like that's obviously I want to win, but I just want to see Deuce play. I want to see. I know it's easier said than done, but like even with IQ struggling, like there's no reason these guys should be playing less than 25 minutes a night. Obi, like at this point, we got to find a way to just see everything and get them some needed experience, and we can evaluate them better. Because I don't think we'll ever really know with Obi until he gets a good point guard. But we have some talent. It's just Tibbs. I don't know, man. It's just very frustrating because I feel like I defend Tibbs more than most people because of what happened last year, but I can't defend what I'm seeing right now, which stinks. So
yeah, I'm with you. I was defending Tibbs, being coach of the year and making something out of nothing and getting us to the playoffs. But when you see, we all see the same thing. We all see that the vets are laying eggs, that they're playing like trash, that they're not out there hustling. Why not throw a player that's going to give you energy, give you hustle, go out there? Yes, he may have a bad offensive performance and go 0 for 13, but so did Fournier the other day. So what's the difference at that point? At least you slow them down where the opposing team is only scoring 90 and not 111, 114. I mean, have some pride in that being a defensive minded coach.
I mean, I just don't know how. Like, we're not there yet, right? So, like, I don't know. Like, I want to get to the end game, which is to build a championship team at the end of this. And there's only two ways you can do it, really. Is number one, you either develop your young players and they eventually you build something organically, or you go out and get those guys in free agency. And right now, I don't believe we can do it the free agency way. So we have to play our young players and develop them.
I think that I'm with you on playing the young players, but I think in free agency, there's the door's still slightly open as far as going after Jalen Brunson or making a trade for Malcolm Brogdon.
I would love that. I hope
so. But it's open.
What's that?
Not this season, but it's still open.
No, not this season. I'm saying play the kids this season, see what you got, and then next year in free agency, You go get a Jalen Brunson because they just picked him Dinwiddie. They got Dinwiddie for another couple years for 2 more years. So they're already looking at him going out the door. That they're already paying Dinwiddie $54 million. They're not gonna pay Jalen Brunson another $80 million on top of that to be what, the third string backup point guard.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, so I see him leaving. And if we don't get him, we make the trade for Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason. Either way, we need a point guard. And
Right.
and
Right.
both those guys aren't breaking the bank.
They
Yeah.
might get Brunson, man, and just overpay him.
But that's what we do. We're the Knicks. We overpay everybody.
I mean, the thing is, I like Brunson, but that's all that's on the table right now for the Knicks. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's on the table, but that might be the only free agent we have a shot at getting. He's a free agent this year, if I'm not mistaken. Is he a free agent?
Yeah, that's what I'm
think
saying.
so.
So
We're paying Derrick Rose $14 million, and he hasn't even played, and he's a backup.
right.
Yeah, we paid Alec Burks 11. We paid Noel's 11. They're all backups. I mean, it's time to, put the money forward and go get this point guard.
Burks, man, we can't even trade him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Brunson, man. But like I said, I'm okay with Brunson because I just know I'm just being realistic. That's all we getting anyway. Oh, shoot, hold it. That's what we're getting anyway.
ESPN.
Probably the best chance we got at somebody, Brunson. I mean, I will say for what it's worth, Brunson has heart though, so he will go to that basket, and he's clutch. He's not afraid to take no big shot at the end of games. So I'm all for it. He's pretty tough. He's a tough little guard. So
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Everybody's already in the NBA has their point guards and their backups. I don't think it'd be
except for
us.
Yeah.
Except for us, yeah. That's what it is at this point.
I thought it was weird last night that IQ got the last shot.
No, yeah, I guess you could say.
I mean, like, it was an open look, but like, I hated it from the standpoint of like I firmly believe like I get I'm one of the first people to defend IQ when he's struggling. He's obviously struggling a while in here, but like I'm like, you play young players, let them play through it. Same with Obi, don't take him out, let him get the experience even if he makes mistakes. But like to give him the chance after he had made a shot all game, I thought that was a little weird, but it was a good shot. But
Same thing happened when Fournier took that shot and won us the game.
Was that true?
He was ice cold, and then that he came into the game and took the shot. So
I don't know. I felt like he was gonna miss, but maybe I'm too pessimistic.
Well,
I hear you.
IQ last night.
Yeah, he's just not confident right now. I mean, he's still going to shoot him. I mean, like, I feel like he's a confident guy. He just doesn't have the shot's not there right now.
Yeah, he doesn't. That was a good little look, I will say. It's a nice look. It didn't go through for us. That's all. Very good look. Yeah, that would have been something that went through. I preferred Grimes or Fournier to take it big, especially Fournier being that Fournier was pretty hot. He's pretty hot right to that. So I just figured.
I thought they would go Grimes or Fournier.
Yeah, I thought Grimes or Fournier was our best chance. I don't know. I mean, I get the IQ thing because it's another option, a guy that can shoot. Maybe he still would be able to hit a game winner, but I don't know. I didn't get running the play just for IQ. It seemed like it was raining for IQ. I don't know. It just looked like it.
I mean, do you buy into this notion? Let me get your take on this, okay? I want your honest take. And sorry, I didn't listen to the whole show. If you covered this already, my apologies. But do you buy into this notion that Tibbs can't develop young players?
Did we talk about that? I buy into it. And in a sense, I buy into it that my thing is, I feel like maybe he can, but he just chooses not to.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. Maybe he just choose. He may just choose not to develop young players. He just don't have the patience. I think just a player that makes mistakes it just aggravates Tibbs to a core, to to a fire. That's how he views young players as knuckleheads. That's the thing with it. So he doesn't have the patience. However, a young players may give him his best chance to win, like he always says in the press conferences. They might actually give it to him because those minutes. Not only that, players want to play hard for a coach that yells like that. Some of them not get pulled. You don't pull them. You can yell at them, but if you give them playtime, you spoil them with playtime. They learn from their mistakes, and they get better over time. In his case, he just pulls them, so the confidence isn't there for some of them. So he doesn't develop them the right way. That's my thing on. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier. With Simons being developed, because there's different ways how you develop players now, because I live in Portland, you know what I'm saying, that they have no G League, so Simons was able to develop 4 years behind a Damian Lillard, a CJ McCollum, and a couple years, with Gary Trent Jr. So that's 3 guards he was able to slowly learn from, while getting, and I mentioned 7 minutes his first rookie year, moving up from there to 17 minutes, and then this year to a 21. Now, IQ did the same thing with us his rookie year. He had, I just mentioned it earlier, 11 minutes or something like that, and then 20 minutes with 11 points, and then 19 minutes his first year with 11 points and 21.3 years, 21.3 minutes this year with 9.2 points with 3 assists. So there's different ways how to develop. And what Grimes said is he heard that Tibbs doesn't play rookies, so he had to force his hand by going out there and playing defense. Now that's the way, like to a man's heart is through his stomach. So that's kind of how Tibbs is too. To get on the court, to win his heart, to get on the court, you have to play defense, and that's what Grimes showed. And that's why Obi's not getting that much run, and Cam is not getting that much run, because they don't commit to you 100% while getting into your chest. Yes, both those guys, Cam and Obi, are athletic, but they give you too much room to operate when they're guarding opposing players. Not like a Grimes or an IQ. There's just different ways of developing. Do they get minutes here and there? Yeah. Does he have a quicker trigger and tighter leash on him? Yeah. Does he have his favorite players? Yeah, because there's times where IQ just comes out and he pops a tray from the logo with 20 seconds still on the shot clock. But he trusts him. And what I mentioned earlier today is when I was at the game, at the Blazers game, IQ and Grimes were the first ones out there before the game and at halftime putting up shots, like game shots. Like they were in a zone, they were going through screens, they were taking shots. They weren't just standing around talking and playing around like Obi and Cam were. Mm-hmm. So you practice how you play. It's so cliche to say, oh, you practice how you play. To get on the court, you got to practice hard. But that's just how Tibbs is, old school like that. So if he sees you playing around, it's like being in class. If you're in class and you're the kid that's just joking around in class, you're not gonna get an A on the assignment to the kid compared to the kid that's studying all the time and taking notes.
That's fair. That's fair. I just like so I don't know. Like I get he has his favorites. I get if he doesn't trust you, you're not on the court. I get all that. I just there is a pattern with him. Like wherever he's gone, the first year, it's like incredible, and then it dies. I don't know. Like it's just
he overachieves his first year, and second year reality sets back in.
I don't know. He runs them into the ground. I don't know. That's all the things you hear, but that's what we heard about him. And I feel like it's happening. I'm not saying it's all his fault. It's not. The front office did a bad job. Randall's regressed a little bit, although Randall's finally playing the way he should for the last 2 weeks, which we saw last year. But Fournier's been up and down. He started to play better. Kemba's been atrocious. I'm I understand it's not all Tibbs, but like the things that was said about Tibbs, I feel like I can't deny what I'm seeing because I feel like this is what people told me about him.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, best believe. I looked up a video on YouTube on how Timberwolves fans felt about him. It's the same. I wanted to see what they didn't like about him. What happened in Minnesota? Same thing.
But the thing is, Culley, like I can't. When somebody asked me, "Do you want Tibbs gone right now?" I said no. I don't want to fire the coach because we do that. How many coaches have we had in the last 20 years? Like that's at the end of the day, got to have a little stability here. I know this has been a rough year. I don't like the young development. I say we give it. Let's see how the end of the season plays. Let's see if he plays the young guys more. He probably won't, and maybe I'll say fire him. But I think you give it one more year, see what we do in free agency, and then reassess.
I'm with you because last year's guys were tip players. You know, the guy that every time he shoots a broken backboard gets his wings. You know, EP. Shout out to Uncle Freezy for that one. I'll never forget that one. But you know, he was a defensive-minded guy. So was Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
So right off that, we traded defense for offense, and our offense isn't producing. And now we're asking Randall to play the point once again when at least EP took the ball out of Randall's hands and kind of set him up, or when he passed it back to Randall. Randall knew if he passed it to him, he was going to get the ball back. So there was that chemistry with them. Not only that, they played previous at New Orleans. You know, they played at New Orleans together, so they had that trust for one another, point guard, power forward. So I just feel like you mentioned, Scree, just give it one more year, bring in the guys, the necessary pieces. Okay, we went offense and that didn't work. Now it's time to bring in players that are Tibbs players. We got the rookies that are Tibbs players. You know, Grimes is a Tibbs player. You know, Jericho's a Tibbs player. You know, McBride on paper is a Tibbs player. I just don't understand why he's not playing. But now we need to bring the free agents that are Tibbs players and get rid of, because like right now a Fournier on any other NBA playoff team would not be a starter. He wasn't a starter when he was with Boston, and they made that playoff push. So they knew that. I don't know why we didn't know that when we signed.
That was a different scenario. That was a terrible fit. But yeah. I mean, that's just my opinion. That was just a terrible fit.
Well, I hear you because they already had. I mean, with the 2 and the 3, with the Brown and the Tatum.
Yeah, they already had kind of already had their guys in that case.
Mm-hmm. But he would just be a microwave scorer off the bench, though. You know, running against second unit guys, and you're running your offense through him, and not taking pressure off of others. So.
I don't mean to use the scapegoat, but I honestly, of all the problems with the team, and there's been many issues throughout the year, I don't want to just put it on one guy. But I will say, if I had to pick one thing, and I'm sorry to say it because I like him, but I do think Kemba has been the point guard situation has been the biggest problem.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. It's like having a football team without a quarterback.
It ruins everything. It's hard to and it's not that he's up there in age. It's just I don't know, man. When I watch Kemba play more than anyone on the team, it's very frustrating. I'll put it that way. You guys know. You watch it.
I watched him play live, and it even pissed me off even more that he just can't fight over screens, that he's just kind of trailing. Then his knees are so shot that when it comes to the fourth quarter, he can't get past nobody. He has the handles, but his body tells him that he can't get past anybody anymore. So what's the point of even having him on the court?
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where he even when he actually even does get to the basket where he won't even put up the shot.
Yeah, he'll drive and get to the cup and kick it out.
But he has a wide open layup. There's in that Lakers game, he had, I think you remember the fast break he had?
Yeah, and Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook did, maybe you want to say fouled him, but just go up with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't talk about Culley's boy like that because he's gonna get heated over there.
I mean,
Who,
I,
Westbrook?
I like
Kemba.
I like Walker, but I know.
I like Kemba too. I mean, like, I think he's an ultimate professional. I thought how he handled everything was the right way. Like, I'm not trying to not. He is what he is at this. He had a great career. It's just frustrating. I don't know.
What do you always say, Kemba? You get him a year too late, or what's your saying?
Oh, yeah, we're always a coach or a player. We're always the right coach or the right player a year too late. Always.
It's true.
Tibbs is a coach we probably should have had. I think we probably should have had. Being that Tibbs is so stubborn, and we had Noah here, we should have had Tibbs that first time we had Derrick Rose because that's when he was trying to get us to run that triangle. Tibbs probably wasn't going to go for that. We were actually winning games. We was winning games at first, and then when Tibbs stepped in with this triangle BS, here came the losses. Here go the losses. Here go Derrick Rose going MIA. Derrick Rose might not have went MIA on the Tom Thibodeau. Derrick Rose just went ghost. Season was over. That might have been a time to have Tibbs. Yeah, you had no veterans here. You had Courtney Lee who still had some years in him. You had Noah. You had Rose. You had Melo. You had some guys. Kylo Quinn, I think. Porzingis, good shot blocker. You had some guys that you probably could have ran guys into the ground then. Honestly, I didn't care about rookies then when we had Melo. I wanted the Knicks to compete. I didn't care about rookies then. I wanted to get us to get aging superstars. I actually love the Derrick Rose trade, everything.
Right, but now that they're in house, though, we kind of want to see what they got. That's the troubling part, especially if we're not winning. Like it's been a minute since we had all this young talent in house. We have IQ who could be a starter. I mean, who start sometimes. We have RJ Barrett. Who's starting at the 3. Then we have backup guys. We have Mitch who knows what's going to happen to Mitch after the season's over? Do we lose him? That's what I was afraid of. I was hoping. I wasn't hoping, but I was like, man, let's trade this kid before he walks for nothing. So I don't even know where that direction's going. Does he even sign it with what they offer? I think they only offer 4-year, $55 million. I'm pretty sure he could do better on the open market than that.
Who Mitch?
Mitch?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's playing well.
Yeah.
Give him his flowers. I mean, I've been very critical of Mitch, but I got to give him his flowers. He's playing really well right now.
Yeah, he's been playing well for a while now, man. Like ever since I guess he got his weight together and just in better shape.
He's been good for the last 2 months, definitely.
Yeah, he's been good for the last 2 months.
I agree with that. I
And
mean,
is he going to be durable though? He hasn't been durable his whole career. He wears a size 14 shoe, like 7. That I still can't believe at 7 feet he wears a size. That's why I think he has foot problems. It's because his foot's too small, carrying around all that weight and that impact.
You think he should be a size 16, size 17?
At least a 16, 17.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point. He's always got issues with his ankles and rolling over, but our best offense at times is just him getting rebounds.
And now he's been grabbing his lower back lately. So,
getting through a game with Mitch, watching it is definitely. I can't remember a player in basketball for the Knicks that's like Mitch that way. That just constantly always will go down. I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying I can't.
No, I hear you. He's always on the floor.
Dwayne Wade was another one, but yeah, that's about it.
That's the part, though. Is it going to be one of those things where we sign him and then he gets hurt? Kind of what we're dealing with, with Noel right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
We gave Noel the bag, and then now Noel hasn't been able to produce, let alone be on the court. So I don't.
Noel, man, that's another guy. I'm kind of disappointed in Noel. He's
Very
been useless. He's been practically useless for us this season. Sorry.
He's been frustrating
that season, but he's just been
he hasn't played. He's just not available. And when he does play, I don't know. He
does play. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't gotten the rhythm. Clearly, hasn't gotten his rhythm.
Rose has been hurt. He's been hurt. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm sure you know, Spree. When Rose gets back, Tibbs is gonna make his notorious run. I'm sure you know that. He's gonna think, he's gonna run his 33-year-old guard, 33-year-old point guard into the ground. I'm sure you know that's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, before we get cut off, I want to salute some cats in the chat and thank everybody who joined us here tonight. Knicks after party, Knicks Nation 112, Jerry Fitz, Long Island Sound 1, Agent Super Argo. I just want to thank y'all, Spree, for joining us on the panel tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you consoling me during this frustrating time, but we've been through it before.
No doubt. Like I mentioned before, Spree, the door's always open anytime you want to slide through. We're here. We're here to vent. We're here to, get this off our chest, and we all Knicks fans at the end of the day.
Right.
So, yeah, we can still chop it up until it pops up, but yeah, I'm with you guys. We're ready to let go of Noel's. He's just been a letdown all year. He hasn't got any rhythm. He hasn't been blocking anybody, and he hasn't been healthy. What can you do?
Right. He's not the defense. Is got to get it
done. Front office needs to get it done. They got to correct it.
Right. Really.
Yeah, there was just no trade value that made sense for them. That we would have probably had to give up a pick to get rid of them. I mean, and I feel that this summer would be it. That they'll be able to.
Yeah, I don't think they're interested in giving up no pick to get rid of them.
Nah. Especially if we're not winning, what that's pointless. Yeah.
Right.
So those picks end up having higher value, being closer to the teens than the 20s. So we'll see. They did a good job with their picks. So every single one counts on getting a player or two. Think of that Trey Mann. We were one pick away from making the Trey Mann pick. So every slot counts. So
dope if we could have traded up, man. Got Trey Mann. At least one of the trades. Him or Trey Murphy, at least, man. My goodness.
Yeah, that's another one. That was another one that was right there. Trey Mann and Trey Murphy. Yeah.
No, you said Trey Murphy. God damn it.
Oh man. I ruined Unk's day. He's like,
yeah, man. Hey, y'all gonna hang out for a little bit, or y'all gonna wrap up? Just so I'll know.
No, we go wrap up. We go wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not rushing. I just didn't want to walk away and then leave y'all hanging. That's all.
No, you good. You good. We had already let everybody know.
Yeah, we covered the bases.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all. Well,
all right, y'all. All right. Y'all be safe.
Later.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you, Spree.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.